Hi and welcome to the Book Bar. I'm Anjanette Barr. If you're new to my channel, thanks so much for checking out my videos. If you like this one, please do consider subscribing. I would love to have you as part of my growing group of bookish friends. It's been really fun to record videos for this channel. So today, actually it was yesterday, I got probably the best book mail of my whole life. I know that sounds big. I'm not exaggerating though. This week has been really good for book mail in general, and I really shouldn't be getting book mail because if you watch my goals video for 2021, one of my goals was not to buy physical books, and I have failed that so hard. It's not even funny. But more recently, with all these like pre-Black Friday deals going on, I think it was Better World Books that had a good sort of deal. And of course Amazon had their buy two get the third one free, and I was good on that one. I only bought Shakespeare for my kids. I didn't buy myself anything, but this Better World Books one, I went off the deep end. But I didn't get so many, but I shouldn't have gotten any, right? But the book that I got yesterday, I'll show you all of them, but the book that I got yesterday that is making my heart sing, I actually pre-ordered this on March 25th, which is a very important day. If you know, you know. It is this. This new beautiful cover and copy of Lord of the Rings. So March 25th is Tolkien Day. And I pre-ordered this on that day when I heard about it. I don't remember where I heard about it. An article though. An article somewhere said, oh, they're publishing, they being who even published this? HMH Books published an edition, a collectible edition of Lord of the Rings with Tolkien's actual illustrations in it. So I haven't unwrapped it yet. I thought I would do that with you, but I do know kind of what's in it because it's March 25th was a really long time ago, so I've definitely spoiled myself and spoiled the surprise and seen the pictures and things other people have uploaded. And then Michael K. Vaughan here on BookTube got his copy before me. I was on the treadmill watching BookTube and it popped up and I went, no, that's not fair. I pre-ordered that book too. He got it like 4 days before me and I couldn't help myself and I watched his whole video. So I totally know what it's going to look like, but I haven't actually seen it with my own eyes yet, except for what you've seen here, which is already gorgeous. Oh, look at this. Isn't that so cool? It'll be better when I can get the plastic off. And I know what some of the illustrations look like because the illustrations, I think the big deal about this one is that the illustrations have never been published alongside the text before. But I've seen some of these illustrations, like in particular, I've seen his Lothlorien illustration floating around. So I'm gonna unwrap it from the shrink wrap and see, and see what it looks like. Oh, I'm so excited. I already have quite the collection of Lord of the Rings copies. That is what it is. If you've got to be terrible about something, might as well be this. So we've got red colored pages in the ends of the pages, all sides. And we've got the script. I'm assuming that's the One Ring script, although I don't know for positive, and I will find out, but I'm guessing that's what it is, just echoing the cover. And of course his signature. I am really interested though. We've got Dwarven runes on the top and an Elvish script on the bottom. There are several Elvish scripts, as most of you will know. I am interested in what this says, so I hope that it tells me. But, oh, there's stuff in it. What's the stuff? There's a page. Oh, no. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay. I was like, why is there this blank paper in here? Oh my goodness, it's a map of Middle Earth. How cool. Let's see if I can get this to zoom in a little. Oh, that's so exciting. All right, so that is in the very front cover here. And I thought I saw something in the back. Is it a receipt? I don't think so. I think they gave me something else exciting. It's too much, you guys. It's too much. What? I had no idea. Mordor and Gondor. It's just a zoomed in. It's like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So what would you do? Would you mount these? Would you hang these up, or would you keep them with the book? Oh, should I buy another copy? So here's one funny thing about this book, you guys. It's such an indulgence. I mean, it's worth it for sure. It's huge and gorgeous and amazing, and I absolutely had to have it. But when I pre-ordered it, it was $75, and I thought, oh no, surely it's not going to be $75. But I wasn't unwilling to pay that. Isn't that ridiculous? It was not $75. It was $45 by the time it shipped, and that's what I've seen it for now. That's still a lot for a book, but I feel like that's much more reasonable. So, okay, now that I've had a geeking out moment about the maps, let's see about the illustrations. So let's just open it up randomly. Ooh, I love this. The typefacing in here, we've got the chapter titles, and the first letter are in red. That's really pretty. I like that layout. Oh, there are some good. So one of the things I read about Tolkien's illustrations, or his opinion of his illustrations, is that he didn't include them because he didn't feel like an artist. I don't know exactly where I read that, but basically I read that he felt like that wasn't his talent, and so it wasn't that he, you know, these didn't get published and they should have or something. It was just he didn't really want them or expect them to be. Okay, so here's his map of Mordor in here. Go closer toward the front so that I can see that picture of LotR maybe. Or something else and maybe in Fellowship. Oh, pretty. Okay, here's the Gate of Moria. That's really cool. It's different and more detailed than I would have expected. Oh, but look. Look. The movie version really, I mean, I'm sure that they saw these illustrations, but you see, you know, the pond, you see a tentacle, and just the scale of it, that's really cool. So cool. Okay, someone please tell me if there is a poster version of Rivendell that Tolkien illustrated someplace, because I need this. I need it I need a mural, but I'll settle for a poster. Okay, here it is. Oh, and it's so funny because the ribbon was in here too, in that spot. Here's LotR. That's the one I've seen before. This is excellent. I am so excited about this. I don't have words. I'm so excited. So excited. Okay, well, the rest is going to be completely anticlimactic after that, because that is the best book mail of all time. But I did get some other really cool books, and so I thought I would just show them to you, I guess. I just want to read this book, you guys. Okay, all right. Immune. This book, so Philip Detmer is the guy behind the YouTube channel Kurs Kasat. I think I said that right. He makes all these really fun videos called In a Nutshell. So it's like science topics in a nutshell. And my teenager really enjoys his channel, and he got me into watching them. And we watched the immunity one, which there's several immunity ones, but it breaks down really cool things like T cells and different receptors, and just helps you kind of explain some of the really minute things that are going on that we've all become a whole lot more versed in and interested in during the pandemic. And then there was a really good video, I'll try and remember to link it in the description, that was about climate change or pollution, or I don't remember the name of the title. I don't remember the title at all, but it had to do with like eco-stewardism, you know, something about what can we do about environmental issues. And it was a really cool breakdown of like, here's what's happening, here's like what's happened in history, here's what people think might be causing these different environmental things. Here's what we can do about it. But it wasn't like one-sided at all. It was like, you know, the reason that we can't come to a solution is because, one of the reasons is because people disagree on what's causing these things. And here's this idea. But it's really succinct and it's done really well. And then in the ending, it's not just like a pat answer. It's a really well thought out answer that I haven't necessarily seen elsewhere. So I'd recommend that channel to you in general, but especially if you kind of like those informative, like info videos that are, you know, illustrated and succinct. So this book is from those people, the creators of that, and it uses the same cool end papers, same illustration style, and works through different aspects of, so it's like simple illustrations, but it's not necessarily geared toward children. I think it's just a particular art style and also supposed to be easy to digest. So, so it has different parts. They're labeled meet your immune system, catastrophic damage, hostile takeover, rebellion, and civil war. So obviously it's kind of like a narrative where they're explaining the systems that your body goes through when it's fighting an illness, and then it's broken down into all kinds of other things, and it has funny titles like The Swamp Kingdom of Mucosa. And anyway, but it explains how, oh, there's the T cell right here. It explains how the different cells multiply and how they go on attack and find the specific illnesses to fight, how your immunity works, which is really fun, and it's in a fun way. But I haven't read it yet, so I don't know what the narrative style is, but my son got it yesterday, and he's a good third of the way through, and he's enjoying it so far. And like I said, the videos are really good, so I'm excited about this for my kids, but I'm sure I'll get around to reading it too. Oh, I forgot to mention that I also pre-ordered that one, so that's not one I got used. But I have this whole stack of these that I bought used. And I have books falling over. Hang on. Okay, everything fell over. I don't know if it's still in the same order. But anyway, I had this coupon, and I needed to. I don't even remember. One of the things about Better World Books is that it ships kind of slowly. So usually when I get an order in from them, I'm like, oh, I ordered something, but I've forgotten by now what it is. It's terrible. It's terrible. But they have slightly lower prices often than thrift books and aid books, and then usually free shipping if you order so many. And they run frequent promotions. So there is a link to Better World Books and thrift books both in my description with my affiliate link or whatever, so that I get points if you try it out. So, you know, definitely don't try it out just because of that. But if you try it out, then that will be fun for me because I'll get to buy more books. So I got this edition of Catcher in the Rye. So one of the things I am doing that probably I shouldn't do is buying some copies of books that are on my 100 Reads Before You Die poster, which I made a video about. I'll link to. And the ones that I think I'm going to like or I'm going to want my kids to read, I'm just going ahead and buying a copy, and the rest I'll get from the library. But this is on my poster, and I'm going to read it next year. So I got this just a used copy for a few bucks on there, and it is a 1951 edition. And yay! I like older books. I like having older copies of classics, and I just like how hardcovers look on the shelf, even if they don't have a dust jacket. So that was fun. And then this one, look how pretty this is. Oh, I hadn't originally purchased this one, even though I have a lot of the Barnes & Noble collectible editions, because I have 3 boys and 1 girl, and I thought that the mermaid cover would turn them off, and my daughter was not in a mermaid phase. She wasn't interested in mermaids, and so because they are, you know, usually, sometimes you can get them really cheap, sometimes even $5, but usually they're $10 or $20 or $25. I did not prioritize this one. However, one, it's gorgeous, And also, my daughter is more interested in mythical creatures now, so I think that she'll like this. We have a lot of fairy tale books, so I didn't necessarily need the Little Mermaid and other fairy tales by Hans Christian Andersen, because I have other Hans Christian Andersen's books, and Grimm Brothers, and like the Blue Fairy book, and Long's Fairy Tales, and I have so many. But this is kind of a secret, I guess I'm going to tell you. I'm writing a book about mermaids. Kind of. I am writing a book that has ocean themes and the race, I guess, of creatures that are in my story are pseudo-mermaids, I guess. So what I'm wanting to do over the next few months is immerse myself in mermaid and siren and kelpie and otherwise lore. And so I decided to see, well, what I did was I went to see, I just love their end papers, went to see if Better World Books happened to have any Barnes & Noble classics to fill up my cart, because I had that coupon and they had this one, and I was like, oh, well, yes, obviously I need that because I've been buying other mermaid books. I'll have to do a video about the mermaid books that I've bought, but I love these books. I went on and on in that other video, so please go watch my Barnes & Noble classics book video if you're interested. Oh, how pretty. If you're interested in my take on these gorgeous books, I just love every single one. Having them on my shelves makes me very happy. So, and then Bethany with the next chapter, her BookTube channel, she has talked about Kristen Hanna several times and The Great Alone, and I have wanted to try this one out because it's set in Alaska, which is where I live, if you don't know, and it's set in, it looks like 1974, and I've heard good things about it, but I didn't want to pay full price, and also I'm having a really hard time getting books back to the library in time because I am overwhelmed with books and life, so I just decided to grab this for a couple of dollars, but I am excited to try that out. And then, so earlier this year, I did a developmental edit for a writer who wrote her book with Don Quixote references. And I was really embarrassed that I didn't get the references because I've never read Don Quixote, and that's just embarrassing in general. It looks intimidating. So I cheated a little bit, but not really. And I also got this selections from Don Quixote, but the reason I got it, not only because maybe I can read the selections and then read this and get like more familiar with the feel for the writing before I start, but it has these selections in English and in Spanish, so I can feel like I'm practicing my Spanish while I read it. I love dual language books. It's so exciting to be able to see them just right next to each other. And I mean, you know, it's never going to be an exact translation, but for instance, they did a really good job with this laying out. So there's a, you know, there's a verse, a poem, or it could be a song, I don't know. And they tried to keep them, you know, in the same area on the page so that you can, for the most part, you know, see where you are. But again, it's not going to be exact because sentence structures in different languages are different. But I'm going to challenge myself to read this in Spanish and then check my comprehension with reading the English as well. And then I wanted to get a nice sturdy copy for myself to keep on my shelves as a keepsake, because I feel like it's something that I should have. And this one just looked really, really nice. So it's a HarperCollins with the translation by Edith Grossman. So tell me if you guys have read this version and if I should have chosen a better translator, a different translator, what you think about it. And then the other thing that may end up happening is sometimes with thick books like this, I end up listening to them on audio. So if you have a really great audiobook narrator, let me know, and I may read them at the same time. But I feel like something that needed to be on my shelf, and it's on my 100 books to read before you die poster. And next year, 2022, I can tell you ahead of time, one of my goals is going to be to read everything on that poster. It's a lot of books that I haven't scratched off so far. It may end up being something like 70 out of 100. And I know there's going to be other books that come up and distract me. And there's so many books that I meant to read this year that I didn't, that I don't know if that's very practical. but I'm going to try it anyway. So I'm gearing up for 2022. All right, leave me a comment and tell me if you've gotten any good book mail this week or recently. And also let me know if you're thinking about 2022 yet. Are you making your book goals yet? And did you meet your goals for this year? Are you trying to get there? Or have you failed miserably like me and bought all the books? Have a great one.